Beloved initiates of the sacred fire, Buddhas in the becoming, conscious ones who are evolving in an understanding of the presence of God everywhere and within self. You are energetic beings of light, flashing forth from your source as you choose the virtues of the Divine One, the All-Buddha, whose presence, whose very light essence moves through you, indeed lives, moves, and has its beingness within your heart, your mind, your will. And when these three aspects of self are harmonized in a synchronistic matrix of perfected love, wisdom, and power, the energy is amplified. The divine activity of light increases, and you may utilize your auric field for great spiritual work, blessing life with the higher divine frequencies of the All-Buddha manifesting through you. There is a scourge upon planet Earth at this time, blessed ones, with all manner of electromagnetic interference through the energies that you utilize in your daily lives, in your homes, your vehicles, in your planes, in all industry where Wi-Fi is broadcast through a technology that is not of the highest offering to the souls of mankind. And though many of you have certain divine abilities to counteract these negative influences, mankind en masse and as a whole is not armed with either the spiritual understanding or the inner power developed through a constancy of spiritual practices to cancel out the deleterious influences upon the physical temple itself, the mind, the heart, the auric field. Therefore, I come this day with a warning to all to understand this scourge, to do your research, and to utilize certain technologies that will both mitigate and, in some cases, completely cancel out these influences and their effects upon your sacred body temples and even your lifespan. Some of you travel in vehicles that are primarily electrically charged, utilizing large batteries that directly impact your auras and your temples. Whether hybrid or fully electric, these can be dangerous to your life stream, and especially the delicate fabric of your etheric, embryonic, ovoid field of light. We have seen how these industries know the truth of these impacts and effects, yet have consciously, and I would say evilly, hid them from the masses of mankind. The same is true with Wi-Fi and the use of mobile devices of all kinds, especially what is called smartphones, held to the head, which, dearest ones, are also very dangerous for you all. The reason I bring this understanding to you is that even one within your midst may have her life cut short by having not understood this danger and having ridden in a hybrid car for a number of years, where cancer has now stricken her body. And it is, dearest ones, something that is or could be avoidable for many more of you. Yes, you desire the environment to be whole and clean and pure and undefiled. Yet even these hybrid and electric vehicles utilize technologies that require vast resources of minerals mined within the earth and other substances, and are just as deleterious to the environment as the internal combustion machine we aver. Therefore, thinking that you were doing something great for humanity and for the planet, and investing in these engines of today, we say, do not be fooled by the dark ones who have carved out a niche in this way to actually impact on a long-term basis the energy fields of light bearers, willing to go down this road, thinking that they could avert even planetary cataclysm by utilizing these technologies. Blessed ones, all are well-meaning in their desire for greater green and eco-vehicles and technologies to utilize heaven's resources and the sun itself to bring Earth into more of a golden crystal age of enlightenment and freedom. Yet, not knowing all of the scientific aspects behind these technologies, they move forward, and the subtle darkness then pervades civilization, and mankind en masse may be entrapped in a matrix utilizing artificial intelligence to their detriment and to their destruction. How may then the enlightened ones move forward, armed with this information? We have already told you to spend as much time within nature as possible, away from computers, away from these devices, which are indeed a scourge upon the earth at this time. Better for many that they utilize the simple resources available to them within the natural world and moved more and more back to nature to find their mooring within spirit, within the sun frequencies of light available as you breathe the fresh air with many trees and plants around you, and have the nurturing of both body temple and heart and mind and spirit simultaneously. Permaculture, dearest ones, is one answer to this dilemma. And we see a generation becoming enlightened in this guise, utilizing the Buddha nature within, communing with the Mother Nature without, to bring about a harmonizing balance of body, mind, and spirit throughout this civilization. Long ago, the Divine Director warned you of the mechanization concept. Yes, back in the mid-60s, dearest ones, the messenger Marcus Lyle Prophet delivered this treatise, and now you see the impacts manifesting throughout your planet and civilization. Avert them, dearest ones, through super consciousness tethered to your I am God presence. Understand the nature of what is transpiring, led by the Dark Ones, who would bring you into a synthetic society powered by machines rather than one that is natural, powered by the Sun, the I Am Presence, the one God, and her beating energies within your breast. The dynamics of life upon earth in this generation are not always clear for the youth to know the truth, the way and the life of the Christ, the Buddha, and the Divine Mother. And so enlightened ones and messengers of godliness are coming forth with their warnings of spirit to provide an impetus of that truth to prevent mass casualties and the plagues that will, if allowed to manifest, could indeed result in almost a genocide of this and future generations. Blessed ones, we do not broadcast fear. We broadcast hope and understanding and enlightened, awakened wisdom, so that light bearers everywhere armed with the truth may move forward integrally, wondrously, energetically, to lead generations to come into the all Buddha nature of godliness within. You must be those way showers who live the truth daily, who understand your body temples, the light within, the vibrations of each organ and system, and of how when you commune within self, with God, and take in those substances worthy of light bearers to bring nourishment into your temple of light, then you can speak with authority and self-knowledge and divine wisdom in this wise, and bring forth that self-knowledge unto others through your living light example of a virtuous initiate. We have been considering in the council chambers of the Ascended Masters for a number of months and years how to bring forth this understanding to light bearers within this movement of the Heart Center community and then throughout the world. your messenger has invested energies and abundance in experimenting with various devices that can mitigate these scourges, dearest ones. And so after this heart stream, I ask him to share with you some that he sees work through personal experience, so that many of you, mindful of this information, may also, after your own research, if necessary, make your conclusions and then move forward with your choices in an enlightened way for your benefit, for your longevity, for your heart-centered and healthy lives. Precious ones, we see many of you suffering subtly, both emotionally or mentally, and many of you physically to an extent that we would see mitigated, armed with this knowledge and truth. For we know that those who know better will do better, and that the truth shall indeed set you free to make right choices and to live in the integrity of your God self, your Buddha nature. Once you know this information, the choice is up to you whether to use your resources wisely as we recommend, or to continue on the road that many of you have taken, ingesting substances that are not healthy for you, even certain opioids and drugs, certain foods that are completely impure in their preparation or in their growing. Yes, the light within you can counterbalance much, dearest ones, yet your daily choices of what you ingest and the environment you live within will indeed impact your lives and your lifespan. Therefore, if you desire a long life lived in joy and harmony and perfect health and well-being, then understand that your daily choices will impact the effects directly. It is more important that you feel healthy, wealthy, and wise than that the outer personality is happy in a happy-go-lucky way to the extent that it is ignorant of the long-term and lasting effects of these daily choices, even the ingestion of substances such as refined sugars, coffee, and others that ultimately do not serve you well, precious ones. We of the Darjeeling Council and other council chambers reaffirm beloved Hyalarians' recommendation that you study the works of Anthony William, sponsored by Compassion to bring the truth of virtuous living into play through righteous choices in diet and other practices. We have seen tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives improved, transformed, and benefited by what Compassion has provided this initiate during this generation to mitigate the effects of impure foods, upon this civilization. Would that many more of you would study, even listening to his podcasts, if you would, to know and be armed with this information, which will benefit you greatly when you are disciplined daily in diet of body, diet of soul, diet of mind, and of spirit. The Lord of the world is coming at the end of this year and during your winter solstice conference to provide an impetus moving forward into the year 2020, a new decade and a new opportunity for enlightened living and self-conscious work and service. Dearest ones, as you prepare for the karmic board's sharings and for the releases of light in Vista, California, near the base chakra of that state of California, it would benefit you to both be there physically, to receive these higher frequencies broadcast by these great beings of the karmic board, and of that which Gautama himself, as a Lord of the world, will provide as a great enfirement of your being, an excitement of your higher centers, and an improvement in your view towards self, the world, and all life. When 2020 vision becomes your purview daily, perfect vision manifests through your mind and your heart and your will in synchronistic balance. Then you will see the changes naturally occurring both within self, within your environment and culture, and then throughout this civilization and planet. It begins with you, each one, in your choices daily. For these result in a greater planetary shift into higher self-conscious living, enlightened beingness in God. Yes, you, dearest ones, are at the center of your universe through your consciousness wed to God. When you live in the integrity of this divine power, wisdom, and love manifesting virtuously through you, you become a game changer for an entire planet and her people. You become a nexus, a plexus of light for compassion, loving kindness, empathy, joy, radiance to manifest throughout this world and beyond. As you breathe in your Buddha nature during your times of silent meditation such as you have just experienced, and as you continue to wed yourself to God through beingness in your presence, I am there, gazing upon you lovingly, with that loving kindness that I always emanate to all life, as your planetary Buddha, a former world teacher, now using that teaching to enlighten, illumine, and transform all in the perfectionment of spirit, in the blessedness of being godly, and in the way, the truth, and the life of the living Logos, the Christ, the Buddha, the Mother everywhere. I am your Maitreya. Sing to me, chant to me, and then you, as a loving and kind one, will merge with the All-Buddha as I have, and live in the integrating fires of spirit forever. Thank you.